Hey, what's up, everybody? Today I kind of want to talk about the value of somebody's life once they enter prison. As this is kind of the most important topic to me because I didn't realize it at first, but eventually it dawned on me. The people that work in these administrations, and obviously it don't go for every single person, but the majority truly could give a shit if you live or die. Literally. And in some cases, I've seen staff celebrate the death of an inmate. I'll explain. Ohio prisons are designed to hold roughly 39,000 inmates. And currently, as I'm making this video, there's almost 47,000 or 46,000 inmates. So there's six to 7,000 inmates over capacitated. What does that mean? In prisons with cell blocks, it doesn't necessarily affect them in the same way. But if you are a lower level inmate, which most inmates are in Ohio, there's like 3 open dormant institutions for every one institution with cells. But okay, I'll just use the level 2s I was at, for example. Lake Erie, North Central, Marion, Belmont. You're in a dorm. It's an open dorm with rows of bunk beds. There's 2 sides to the dorm, right? Marion's different. I'll explain Marion, because Marion's old and raggedy. But there's 2 sides to the dorm, and there's roughly about 100 to 150 guys on each side, right? So your space is a bottom bunk and a top bunk, and then you got an area that's about 3 feet wide and about 6 to 7 feet long. Both you and your bunkie's locker box are typically under the bunks. And you just got men all around you. And you got them young kids that'll be up till 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, running up and down the aisles and kicking it and screaming and talking and rapping and singing and beating on the, I mean, it can get, especially if you're in a camp like Lake Erie, where probably 80% of the inmates are under 28. They got tablets now where everybody's basically got their own phone. But back then, you had 4 phones on each side for 250 to 300 guys. And there would be gang phones, city phones. I mean, the list is endless. Lucasville. Now, in Lucasville, I spoke on the Fresh Out podcast about how every year, so it was April, I want to say 11th. That could be wrong. If I'm wrong, you guys feel free to correct me. But I believe it was April 11th, 1993, that the Lucasville riots jumped off. Now, during that riot, a bunch of inmates got killed. They went, once the riot jumped off, they killed a bunch of snitches right off the bat. Slaughtered these guys. And then they ended up killing a CO. And when I was at Lucasville, on the anniversary of that, the COs would get a get back. And all it would boil down to is somebody goes to the hole every day. Somebody does some fucked up shit every day in every institution across America. And that's all it was. They would wait for somebody to do a fucked up thing on that day, and he would come back to the hole, and they would fuck him up. And I worked in the hole, and I seen a lot of inmates get their ass tortured by COs. You had to worry about the COs in Lucasville more than you had to worry about the inmates. Because the Lucasville COs would kill you just as fast. There's endless information you can Google about the Southern Ohio Correctional Facility in Lucasville, Ohio. I mean, I'll speak about the one incident again. They didn't do this when I was there, but now they got day room. I mean, they got tables in the day room in the hole in 4B. 4B, Lucasville is a level 4. So if you're in 4B, that just means level 4B. That means you're high, you're in the hole. Or 4B is the hole, but they can keep you forever till the end of your sentence. But anyway, there was tables in the day room. And Lucasville COs are racist. It's the Tri-County area. So there's COs that live in West Virginia, Ohio, and Kentucky. It's right at the peak of the state where all three of those states meet. They call it Tri-County. And they're racist than a motherfucker, some of them COs. I ain't gonna lie to you. I've seen some horrible things from them COs. And I don't know. There was these 3 black guys, and apparently they was having issues with this one white guy. The white guy told the COs, like, hey, I'm finna fuck these dudes up, you know. And what the COs would do, see, I used to go on a rec chain. And what they would do is if there was a guy they knew was going to crash out on that rec chain, they would leave his cuffs loose so he could slip them. And then that way that would cover their ass, because all they would have to say is, man, he slipped the cuffs. And they would fuck him up, whatever. But they knew what was going to happen. People used to talk about that all the time. Don't never go on the rec chain, because the COs be letting motherfuckers slip their cuffs. So they got these guys out. They get these three or four black guys. They put them at one table. And when you go to the day room at Lucasville, since they're in 4B, they got to be handcuffed at all times. So they would just basically handcuff them to this. They would handcuff them to the table. So they got the black guys playing cards at this table, and then they let one white guy out, and they put him at the very next table. And you can watch the footage yourself. Google it. The guy's sitting there, and all of a sudden he slips his handcuffs, but none of the black dudes can slip theirs. And he gets up and he starts stabbing every one of these guys while they're sitting at the table playing cards. That is a PG-13 version of what really happens at Lucasville. Anybody who's been to any prison in Ohio can tell you about Lucasville. If you've even been to the hub is in Franklin County. And basically what that is if guys are riding to another institution, that's where you go. So like if I'm riding out from Toledo and I'm going to Lucasville, the Toledo COs would drive me to the hub in Franklin County and drop me off. And then I would sit there and wait on Lucasville to come and get me. And that goes for every prison in Ohio. That's where the hub is. And you'll be at the hub, and the COs at the hub are they're the nicest COs in the state. They're respectful. They talk to you with manners. They talk to you like you're a human being. They treat you decent. It's clean. It's sanitary. It's just a hub. Guys are passing through. They're not dealing with the same people all day, every day. But I've been there, and the COs from Lucasville will come to pick a guy up and spaz on him right at the hub. And the COs at Franklin County will be looking at him like, what the fuck? I've seen that multiple times. When I got to Lucasville, there was 8 of us. And there was one guy, he had rode from Warren, and he had got his security level raised and shipped there because he assaulted a CO. When you get to Lucasville, they take you in this room. It's this big ass fucking room, and they got all these different individual cages. They're like phone booths, but bars. And they made us all strip naked and get in these cages. And each one of us was in our own individual cage, butt ass naked, for like an hour. They stripped us out and just left us standing there for like an hour, 45 minutes maybe. It felt like forever. And we're getting fucking analyzed by prison staff. And there's 8 men, probably 20 COs and white shirts and nurses and administrative people doing our intake. And we're all just dick and balls swinging. It was crazy. And so the one guy that was there for assaulting a CO in Warren, because they had all of our files on this table. And when they got to hit, I mean, we wasn't there. We wasn't there long. I mean, this was a whole day. But anybody will tell you, when you ride to a new prison, that intake process is grueling. I mean, I've been in some of them that took 10 hours. And this was one like that. This one was an all-day sitchy. And we wasn't there long, bro. Maybe an hour or 2 tops. And they finally got to this dude's file, and they seen that he had got shipped there for whooping on a CO. And literally, they surrounded his cage. There was like 3 or 4 COs, and there were 2 white shirts. They surrounded his cage. They got to talking shit. Hey, you such and such? Yeah. Oh, you like the punch on COs? And it was just, okay, all right, we're going to teach you about that down here. And, you know, they berated him for about 5 minutes. They cuffed him up, grabbed all his shit, and left all of his personal shit. The shit he rode in with, his pictures, his clothes, his electronics, his food, all that type of shit, stayed. The state bag they give you with your new bed sheets, blanket, and shit like that, they took that. So that tells me they took him straight to 4B, to the hole, which is what you was going to do anyway. But I think they fucked him up. Knowing what I come to learn after that, they took this man, because I was there 2 years, and I never seen him again, ever. And that was another thing about Lucasville. Like, Lucasville violence is such a common theme there, or was then, that somebody will get killed and you won't hear about it for 2-3 weeks. Whereas in other prisons, somebody gets killed and the whole compound knows about it within 20 minutes. I remember, shit, I'm going to end it with this one, man, because this one fucks with me in my sleep. I came home from Lucasville March 17th, 2009. Man, it couldn't have been any longer than 2 weeks. I'm like 2 weeks before I go home. I want to say like 10 days. Like, I'm short. I'm really like short. I'm about to go. Well, on the compound in Lucasville, you're in a cell. But the front wall where your door is at, it's not a complete wall. So you got your door and then the wall next to it. The bottom half is a wall, but the top half is bars. So every cell has basically a window. Well, anyway, I'm in my bars screaming across the range to this dude who he was the bookie. He ran the gambling shit in the block. And I'll never forget it, man. I was booking my bet on some college basketball. And there was arguing going on, but that's every day, all day. I mean, nobody's paying attention to that shit. But obviously there's arguing going on. Well, what was going on was there was 4 porters. 3 of them were black, 1 of them was white. The white dude had snitched on the black dudes for something. I don't know what it was. The 3 black dudes were all on the range cleaning. We're upstairs. The white dude was in his cell. 1 black dude's trying to get his door popped so they can fuck him up. The other 3 they're all barking at each other. Well, finally the fucking CO pops this man's door open. And when he pops his door open, I'm screaming across the range, booking my bet. And I couldn't see the whole thing because they're down maybe 3 cells. But I could see a little bit. I could see like 1 guy out of the 5. Until I get to it. So they start fucking him up. They pop his door, and instantly these guys jump on dude. And what I catch out of my peripheral happens so fast. You just see these dudes rumbling on the range. They're obviously jumping dude. And then they pick him up, and they throw him head first over the range. And you heard his head hit. It sounded like a fucking pumpkin smashing the ground, right? So the CO's locked down. I mean, make the call. The med team, everybody responds. No more than 15 minutes after this happens, they start cracking doors for chow. To roll us out for chow. Now, when they run chow, they do 1 range at a time. There's 80 cells in a block. So you got 4 ranges. You got 1 through 20. 21 through 40, 41 through 60, 61 through 80. And they'll do 1 at a time. And everywhere you go is with your 20, your range. And in the front of every block, there's what they call a bullpen. It's like a miniature block where everybody waits for the CO to come get you to walk you to wherever you're going. So they start running chow. They roll our gates. We go out to the bullpen. We're waiting in the bullpen. I shit you not, it looked like a Michael Myers movie. It looked like a fucking crime scene. It was a crime scene. There was blood everywhere. You could smell it. And they run us. They walk us to chow. It's a straight shot down this long-ass hallway. And we're going down the hallway, and you can see the drops of blood. They rolled him out on a gurney, and his head busted wide open. So you could see where these drops of blood were all the way down the hallway. Now in Lucasville, there's a 10-minute rule. You got 10 minutes to eat. That's it. So we eat. They call chow. They bring us back. On our way back, all we smell is bleach. And all the drops of blood are gone. We get to the bullpen. Bleach. Powerful bleach. Overwhelming. But everything's crispy clean. And they roll us back into the cell. And I remember laying there like, damn, that's it. It took them 10 minutes to wash the memory away of that dude. And nobody spoke a word of it. And they just threw him like a yard dart off the top range. About a 20-foot drop. Head first. Killed him instantly. The dude downstairs swears, I didn't see this, but the guy downstairs swears to God as soon as he hit head first and hopped up and started walking and collapsed again and died. Now, whether or not that's true or not, I don't know. But I do know he died. I do know they tossed him off the range. And I do know nobody gave a fuck. That's the video for today, y'all. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit the like and subscribe button and share the video. Let's help this channel grow, y'all. Appreciate you for watching. Until next time, this is the Hoodie Man. Stay safe and God bless.